Have you seen this picture of the crying little Hispanic girl at the border? She has been the face of the so-called family separation, so much so that she has made the cover of Time magazine with a picture of Donald Trump looking down on her like she is nothing. That whole thing is fake news. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brown Logan, and today we got to talk about that picture you just saw, the Time magazine cover, and the real story behind it. Now, that little girl is 2 years old, and she is from Honduras. She is being used as the face of family separation. She's crying. She doesn't know where her mommy is. She doesn't know where her daddy is. How inhumane of Donald Trump. He is the worst thing ever. But the problem is that the picture is totally fake. First of all, if you look, you can see a person wearing jeans right next to her. That is her mother. The girl was never separated from the mother. And the reason why they got detained in the first place in this situation is because they were outside at almost 11 o'clock at night in the middle of nowhere, close to the border. This is very dangerous for women to be out there, especially with children, especially with little girls, babies, basically. You have the wild animals, the actual coyotes that are out there that may physically attack you. And then you have the human beings who are also coyotes that may be smuggling these girls. You have the drug cartels who include coyotes, but they may kidnap the woman and a daughter, one or the other or both, for sex trafficking, for organ harvesting, or they might just kill them and rob them. So it's very dangerous for them to be out there by themselves in the middle of the night by the border. But beyond that, that mother was actually detained because she is a witness in a human smuggling case. Now, not something that she witnessed, I suppose, because the story I heard puts her in the actual seat of the perpetrator in the smuggling case. Okay. Allegedly, she paid a coyote up to $6,000 to smuggle the little girl into the U.S. Okay. So when you're talking about family separation and what about the children? Well, what about the children? Shouldn't you be against people smuggling? Shouldn't you be against human trafficking? Shouldn't you be against the very thing that could happen to the little girl or did happen to her? I mean, if you're paying a coyote like $6,000, you don't know what the coyote may do. They may decide, you know what, rather than taking your girl and you to the border to have a new life, I may just sell you into sex slavery in Mexico because they came from Honduras. Okay, so they had to come from south of Mexico through Mexico to the U.S. So there were a lot of different things happening here. Now, the reason why I know the real story is because the father of the girl and the husband of the woman, of the mother, has spoken out and given the real story. First of all, he said he was heartbroken that he saw his daughter in the picture. I mean, he didn't have any idea where they were. The mother had left with the daughter against the father's will early in the morning at the beginning of June of this month. He hadn't heard from the mother since then. They have 3 other children. I think the oldest one is 14. They have 14, 11, and 7. So they got 3 other kids who are still in Honduras. Now, I keep hearing this whole thing. Well, the people are going to United States from Honduras, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Mexico, Guatemala, etc. for a better life. They're just trying to make something of themselves, and they're just trying to escape crushing poverty and crime. Well, the dad said he has a good job. Apparently, he's able to take care of himself and 3 other children and her and the baby. So you got 4 kids, a wife, and you're able to take care of them. He said that he has a good job, but he understands why some go to the border because there's not many jobs in Honduras. But that's not their particular case. And that's pretty clear from the fact that the father, number one, is speaking out, saying that he has a good job. And number 2, that the wife, who knows what she does for a living, I don't know, but she had $6,000 to pay a coyote. Now, do you have $6,000 in your pocket right now? not many American citizens do. So I don't want to hear this whole sob story about people coming from poverty-stricken countries with a lot of crime and violence, and they're just trying to come to the U.S. for a better life. I mean, you got a lot of Americans that are trying to strive for a better life. That does not give us carte blanche to do whatever we want to do. That does not mean we can violate the laws of the country and not get prosecuted and or jailed when we're found guilty of it. That's not how that works, but I'll move on. Now, this picture is just one of many fake pictures that the media and people online are using. Jennifer Lopez posted this picture, I'll place it on the screen before you, of a mother at a fence kissing a little girl's hand. I don't know if it's a mother, grandmother, whatever, but it's a woman kissing a little girl's hand through a fence. But the problem is this picture was in 2014 in Mosul, Iraq. And these people were trying to escape ISIS. And this was under one Barack Hussein Obama, his watch. So what are we really doing? We're just taking random pictures and using them for whatever we want to use them for. And then you have the picture of the little kid in the cage. Like I said in the previous video, that is also fake. People are trying to say, oh, these kids are kept in dog kennels. They're treated very inhumanely. Well, the reality is this picture was taken at a protest rally outside. There was a little cage set up by protesters, and they put their own children in there as a show of protest against family separation. One of the kids who was not part of the protest had wandered into the cage and kind of got lost, didn't understand how to get out of it, and he had his hand on the actual bars crying because he was lost and he wanted his mommy. So this whole thing is totally fake. People just see pictures of brown babies crying and they think, oh, this is Trump, he did it. How can you not feel sympathy? But let's just look at reality here for a moment. Just put your fifis to the side and look at what's really going on. The picture of the little girl that made the cover of Time magazine was fake because her mother was right there. They were never separated, and her father had a good job in Honduras. Her mother took the daughter against the father's will to the U.S. and paid a coyote. So you got a lot of violations going on there. I mean, here in America, if you take a child against one of the parents' will, that could be considered kidnapping, okay? And then on top of that, you paying a coyote. That's called human trafficking. So you got a few violations that are happening right there. But I'm supposed to feel sympathy for the family. I mean, I feel bad for the little girl, but not for the mother, because the mother did something illegal, which is why they got detained. And really, them being detained probably helped. The father even said that it broke my heart to see my little girl in the picture, but at the same time, I'm glad that they were apprehended because now they're in a safer place. And if you doubt what I'm saying, I'll put the actual article from the Daily Mail in the box below so you're able to read it for yourself. There's all kind of pictures of the family, so you know it's more context than what you see on television, what you would see from NBC Nightly News or whatever. Maybe they'll issue a retraction, maybe they'll issue a clarification, but I doubt it. And if they do, it will most certainly not get as much attention as the first picture did. And also, before I close, CNN, ABC, CBS, or whatever, they're doing a lot of fake reporting about these holding facilities. They're trying to show the floor mats and the tinfoil looking blankets at some kind of inhumane condition, but the reality is these are not the permanent places of people stay. And usually in places like this, the whole family is together. So this is not family separation. This is not a permanent facility. When they go here, usually they go to a different place where I told you before, they're doing Tai Chi, playing PlayStation, playing soccer, eating good food, having a better experience than kids who wind up in foster care and go to group homes, and even kids who go to regular public school to have a 2-parent household. So I'm not really trying to hear all the crying, all the belly aching. All I want is for the border to be more secure and for these parents to tighten up and do better. How are you going to sit there and tell me that it's okay for a mother to pay a coyote $6,000 to smuggle their child into the U.S.? How are you going to tell me that it's okay for the mother and a daughter to be outside by themselves in the middle of the night and have to get picked up by Border Patrol for their own safety. I mean, being picked up by Border Patrol is a good thing, but them being out there is most certainly not. They're putting themselves in danger. They're putting themselves at risk for economic opportunity because they're not necessarily destitute and starving and refugees. How can that be so when the dad said that's not the case? I think we need to look at these things with much more common sense rather than just leading with our heart all the time. So what do you think? Did you know that this whole kerfuffle with the picture was fake? I pretty much knew what was going on here. I said it in my previous video that you don't really know what's happening with these people. It could be a coyote being paid. It could be some drug cartels kidnapping these people. There are a lot of different things going on. You'll be surprised at how depraved some people are and how little they care about their own children. They'll send their children to the U.S., sell them off for money, and stay in the country of origin. They don't really care. Sometimes, not all the time, hashtag, and not all, at all. But you do see cases like that. So to paint everything with a broad brush, in my humble opinion, is irresponsible at best. And all these celebrities coming out, talking all this, that, and the third, posting inaccurate pictures from years ago that have nothing to do with what's going on right now. Ought to just relax. I say if you're going to speak, be at least a little bit informed. Don't behave as some kind of expert on the subject matter when you don't know anything outside of what you see on your Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.